Okay, so quick beginner's intro into how to search and help a buyer's client. So first things first, um, depending on how much you've already attempted to try and access your MLS and systems through the Realtor platform, if you've never logged in, you'll have to go through a couple steps that are a little confusing. Um, However, when you first sign up with Realtor and um, ARMLS, they send you a step-by-step process on how to get through that, and it will be much easier um, for you to follow through that than for me to try to recreate it because since I've already done it, I can't really get back to that same portal. So it's basically a temporary password login kind of thing um, through Realtor. So you have to log into your Realtor, make sure you have access to that, make sure you've changed your password, and then from there, there will be a place where you can log into FlexMLS. Once you've gone past that first step, which you may have already done, this will be the only place where you will log in. So, for example, when you ever go to log back into your MLS, you will simply just open a tab, go to armls.flexmls, and go to it. It will take you here to prompt your login, etc. So it looks like I have to log in anyway, so I might as well go ahead and do that and start a new tab. So it takes me right back to where we were. So Flex MLS, ARMLS. Um, Here is your kind of all-in-one online office place, if you will. So not only do you have your ability to search for properties in here, but you have your ability to write up contracts in here, research property information in here, manage contacts. You can even send emails from here. Um, your MLS may look different than mine, and the only reason is this is customizable. And I simply went in here to menu and I starred all of the things that I wanted to see on my toolbar up here. Depending on what you like to see, you can kind of do the same thing. But these are the main things you want to access. So I would recommend probably highlighting these exact same things. That way you don't have to go through and look for them every time. Whenever you write up an offer, click on transaction desk. Whenever you want to write up or research properties, click on monsoon. That will take you to a whole other place. So that's really all you need to know at first. And so let's say we're looking for a buyer, which is kind of where we all start out. So obviously we have to search for the property first. So um, I'll write a quick um, note here. Um, Basically, step by step. Actually, let's say no, we'll go whiteboard. That's the proper way to do it. Okay, so we'll go whiteboard, new whiteboard. Okay, so step by step process here. So we're gonna go for a buyer. So access ARMLS and go to quick search. Now, what I would do is initially I would just start with the basic parameters that you know from them. Maybe they've given you a list. Maybe um, you've just had one quick conversation and they've mentioned a few things. Maybe they have no idea. Okay. So what I would recommend at first doing is just going into quick search here and just getting started. So just start searching. All right. Now you'll notice here mine says multiple dwellings. Reason why the most recent client I was searching for was looking for multifamily. This will normally pop open as residential, which is what you want, but there are other options here for rental, vacant lots, commercial for sale, commercial for lease. This is multifamily. This is actual businesses like um, restaurants. The business is actually for sale. You can search for multiple properties at a time through here, et cetera, et cetera. There's not really any reason to go to the rest of that. So we'll just switch that to residential. And here is where you're going to just kind of start your search. Um, I'll show you in a second here how to do a saved search, but really you just kind of want to start poking around, seeing what's out there, based off the basic information that you know, and then from there you can kind of see where you want to narrow your search. Now, for whatever reason, the MLS changes this on its own, and right now it's popping up as showing active and contingent. I really don't care to see any deals that are contingent. What that means is they're already under contract. Um, and I really just want to see what's available. Sometimes I might want to see what's available and coming soon. So I can click on control and then coming soon. But I really coming soon might be a month out, 2 months out. So I really don't like doing that a whole lot. Especially in a market that's not super active or competitive, because we really just want to focus on listings that are available right now and maybe listings that have been available for 3 to 6 months, because we'll have a lot more opportunity to negotiate on those. So here we go, view map. Let's just say we know there's a lot of active properties here. So let's just say we know that the buyer wants to be in like the Southeast Valley. Okay, so there's a couple of things we can do to kind of get rid of all this stuff. Um, is we can use a polygon tool, we can use a circle, square. You can come over here and you can go city town code. So I could just simply go like Chandler, and then I can go like Gilbert. That narrows that down. Also, some people might not specifically care that they are in those cities, but just in the area. So what you can, just simply do is view map and just kind of toggle in here on the area. Now you can see there's a lot of stuff here. But let's say we know someone wants to live essentially around this area. Okay. Um, the next, obviously, Arizona is a very interesting market where there's so much land. There isn't really major areas that are one type or another. So Gilbert, you're going to have lots of average price homes, but you're going to have lots of very expensive homes. Chandler, you're going to have lots of average homes, but a ton of very expensive homes, and also some lower income housing. Same thing with Tempe. There's going to be lots of nice homes, average homes, but also a lot of low income housing, school housing, multifamily, stuff like that. Mesa, you'll have some nicer, more expensive homes up in the orchards area up here, but for the most part, it's going to be low income to average housing. So Queen Creek, you're going to have pretty much all average price point housing. You'll have a couple pockets here and there of some really nice, more expensive properties, but for the most part, this is just major cookie cutter area, and same thing across the lower Chandler Heights area here. So that being said, now we kind of want to start, making our search a little bit easier. So let's just say, um, based off conversations, we know our buyer has a budget of um, $600,000. So right away, we're going to want to kind of narrow out the rest of that, because, like I said, there's so many pockets of more expensive homes in each area that we just kind of want to get those out of the way so we can actually start searching for real opportunities. Um, and if the budget's 650, usually I'll do something like 625 in a market where it's a buyer's market, because we would likely be able to get, something that's listed for 625 for 600 potentially. So, um, and you can see real quick, this cuts out a ton of stuff. Average price points in this area are about 500 right now. Um, so this gets a lot of the other stuff out of the way, so we can really start looking. Now, there might be a couple other very specific things that this buyer needs. Can they live in a one-bedroom property? Probably not. Right now, this is showing all kinds of properties. It's showing condos, mobile homes. It's showing, um, mansions. It's showing average three-bedroom, four-bedroom houses. So we definitely can help narrow that down really quickly by simply, just going into bedrooms here. And maybe it's a family of, um, you know, family of five, right? So, minimum gonna need four bedrooms, maybe even they need five, but four bedrooms absolutely is what they need. So they simply go in here, four bedrooms minimum, and you can see again that really narrows this down. Okay. So now we can kind of see what's available. There's some opportunities here in Seville Country Club, downtown Queen Creek, Santan Ranch, a couple over here in Chandler, a couple downtown Chandler. So now, based off of market information or things they've said, we can really kind of narrow in what the best area for them might be. Let's just say they want to be in a newer part of town and they don't necessarily want to be near Old Town Chandler here. Um, what we can do is make a polygon here and really start narrowing this down. So we can kind of just go over here to the A7, down here, and let's just say we know they don't really want to be out past Queen Creek in a lot of this because this is all brand new construction and it's not really convenient to get to town. So let's say the farthest they want to be is downtown Queen Creek. So we can do something like this. And then double click to close it. And there we go. Now our search has changed to just this area. And again, we can go in here, we can zoom in, and we can start looking at every single one of these. But we're going to see, there's going to be so much to click on. It's going to be very hard to remember. So what we probably want to do is narrow it down a little bit more. So um, let's go bathrooms. Let's say because the family of five, again, we're just assuming for the sake of training here, they don't want a four-bedroom, one and a half bathroom, right? They don't want a powder room, right? So let's say at a minimum, they want a full guest bathroom plus a powder room. That way, if they have people over, everybody's not going to the kids' bathroom. So we'll say two and a half bath is a minimum. Narrows it down quite a bit. And you can see on our results here, we've got 63. So we can actually start going to the list search here and really kind of see what we're looking at visually. And you can change this so you can go a little bit bigger picture. So we can go view. Whoops, not that one. Let's see. Trying to make the pictures bigger, but not the biggest deal. But either way, you can kind of see what we're looking at here. Lots of brand new construction stuff. Um, but here we got a mobile home here. So don't necessarily like that, but that's just one. We can filter that out in a lot of different ways. But you can see we got a lot of good opportunities here. A ton of them under 600. And you can see it's just yeah, we got a really good list going here. So you could just from here, let's just say, they want to see all of what's available. They don't want to see three homes. They want to see everything that's available in the area they want to be in with the exact things they want in the house. So you could just send them this list right here. Way to do that would be to um, check all of the results here, and then you can click email right from here, and then it's going to send them basically a link where there's a map view and all that stuff where they can click through it. So essentially what you're looking at in your search results. And you can do all that right here. Pretty self-explanatory, add new contacts, fill out the email, all that stuff. So very, very self-explanatory. Um, let's say it's not a buyer's market and there's not this much available. Maybe you just send them one or two or three properties because that's all that really fits. It might not make sense to send them a list like this. Maybe you actually just text them three actual links, to the MLS. Um, so let's say they're more concerned about price. They want the cheapest one. So we go here at Sierra Grand, we go here, and we go share, and we go permalink, and boom. So now you can actually just copy and paste this link, and you can send it to them via text. You can send it to them via email, and that way you're just sending the one property as opposed to a list. Um, totally your style. Everyone has their own style. The style might depend on the market. The style might depend on um, the buyer. The buyer may, for example, I have a blind client. Okay, um, how do you send a blind client a listing? Well, he can actually, through his phone, have his phone read him a lot of information. So if I send him all of this, his phone is just going to start reading him all of this stuff. So what I might want to do in that situation is I send him the link plus the marketing. And I might copy and paste this. And I might text him the link and text him the marketing and the price. And that way he can kind of get some detail about it. And his phone would actually read that from. Obviously, that's a unique case. But again, you're going to have to switch your style up for lots of different reasons, whether it's the market, whether it's the buyer, whatever it may be. So let's go back to the search results, or just we go back to edit search here, and we come back here. Maybe 63 is too many, and we know a couple other things, right? Let's say we know um, they want to be in a house that's built without asbestos. So if you remember any real estate license, asbestos was essentially outlawed in 1979. However, builders still used it for a few years. So a lot of people like to think that's more like 1981. I like to use 1985 because I have heard stories from old timers that are builders who themselves used asbestos for many years because they just had it on hand. So I use 85. This is also a way to determine um, a couple other things, which the main one is the difference between asphalt roof construction and concrete tile construction, concrete or clay tile construction that is used today in Arizona, which is much, much, much more um, beneficial for the climate here. And again, didn't really change it too much. There were already no homes built that old in this area. However, there's a couple more things we can do. So add field. Uh, let's say let's say they want a bigger yard, or actually, let's say, well, some search options. Let's go here. There we go. Documents, virtual tours, open house dates. Okay, so let's say they're out of town buyers, which is very common. A lot of people don't like just looking through pictures. They want to see virtual tours. This is actually a really good final step we can add here. We can go virtual tours, and that drops us to 9. That's really cool. And now we can really go to this list and we can really start clicking through it and know that anything we click on, let's say we click on this listing, once we go to photos, the first or second photo you can see here has videos and a walkthrough. A lot of time with out of town buyers, the number one thing that you're spending your time on is going to the property before they even come to town and taking a video tour for them. Okay. A lot of listing agents have gotten smart and they've started adding these things into their listings because it really does help people get the idea of what the house looks like before even having to go spend time doing the tour. So that being said, click on view tour. Some of them will be better than others. Um, some of them are essentially just a slideshow of the photos here. However, that's fine. At least it gives some sort of a feel of, walking through the house, even though it's not walking through the house. So that's not the best example. Let's go back to a video here. So we'll watch this video link. It's not the same slideshow. There we go. So this is actually a more traditional walk through where you're actually literally walking through the house as opposed to fading from one picture to the other. And then what I would do is just send videos like this to your clients so they actually feel like they've toured the property and they'll be much more on board with submitting an offer. Plus, you get more of a feel of the outside space, how it's accessed. A lot of times you just see pictures of the yard. You don't even know where you enter the yard from. Let's kind of fast forward to that part. How do we see outside? There we go. So transition outside, super important. There we go. So walking out with the sliders, we've got a view fence plus a block wall behind it, big yard, grass, perfect. So you can see someone would have a lot better comfortability with getting attached to a house enough to make an offer by seeing that video. And this is the exact process I would go through. Now, let's say we found the house. That's the house we want. Next step, how the heck do I go tour the house? Okay. So first things first, you need to have a Supra membership. This is not something that is automatically done through WeServe or MLS. They do ask you when you first start, but it is a $15 to $20 a month membership. So um, not everybody signs up for it right away. You don't have to until you start touring homes. So what you would do next is make sure you have this. So MLS, products, support, rules, learning, MLS, live showings, products. Okay, super right here. Okay, so you would want you first of all, you cannot sign up for this yourself. You have to go through the MLS. So you'd want to contact ARMLS, tell them you want to sign up, tell them you just want the E key because you're just touring buyers, the I box is for listings. So you will not need this until you have a listing. They do cost quite a bit. They are anywhere from $100 to $200. Sometimes they have used ones available. That's how you can get them for 100. But brand new, they can be as high as 200 bucks, depending on the version. You will need one once you have a listing, but you do not need one just to start showing homes. The eKey is just an app on your phone, and simply what you do um, is you have to have your Bluetooth activated, and let's find an image of here they go. Here's what they look like. So this right here is a super Bluetooth lockbox, and here's what the app looks like. And what you do, there's actually a button on the bottom of this lockbox, and with your finger, you simply just push up. It's kind of weird. You might want to, grab your hand around the actual lockbox because it's not secured super tight. So you might push the whole box up and not the button up. So you might want to grab it with one hand around the side and then push up on the lockbox button. And then once you do that, it will start flashing red. It's kind of like pairing to a Bluetooth speaker. So basically, you're going to need to pair to it. And once it's flashing red, you go down here and you click this key button, okay, on your phone. And then it'll pop up a prompt. It'll say, what's your password? So obviously, you'll have set your own password. It's usually a 4-digit PIN number. And so just simply enter your 4-digit PIN number. It'll start beeping back and forth, like beep, 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 beep. And then you'll hear a click. Once you hear that click, you push up on the lockbox again, and the whole key thing will fall out of the bottom. Okay. So it looks like this. So this thing goes up inside here, and this thing will fall out with the keys. It goes back in the same way it comes out. So don't be scared how to get it back together. You just have to kind of slide it in and push hard, make sure it latches up in there. And that's how you do it. Backing up one step, I guess, before you tour homes, you may have to ask. So that is where we have this section here called showing instructions. So permission required to show says yes. That is typically the case where you have to actually request to show the property. Sometimes you might find properties that are vacant where it says no. And as long as you use the lockbox and all that, you're good. Um, so the next step before just going and showing would actually be to go what's called to align showings. Now, it might not always say this. This is a software program. Um, some people don't like it. Some people would rather that you call or text them to ask, which is fine. All you would simply do is call or text either phone number here and say, hey, I want to show my buyer such and such property at this time. Is that okay? So you can also email them, but you might not get a quick response. So that being said, aligned showings is definitely the fastest, easiest way. You would just simply come in here, pick the date. Let's say you're setting appointments for the following Saturday, tomorrow. I'm saying showing. I click next. It's going to show me a calendar here of maybe any other appointments. So it looks like there's no other appointments, um, which that's kind of common right now. So you basically have your pick of the litter. Let's say they want to come at noon. So we go noon. And this is a 30-minute appointment. Typically, it does take up to 30 minutes sometimes to show a house, if they like it. There's a lot of stuff, people are peeking into closets, laundry room, garage, walking around the yard. Maybe they're late. Um, so 30 minutes is a good time. I've attempted to set 15-minute appointments in the past, and whether your client's late or the people touring ahead of you are walking out late, 15 minutes is almost never, ever, ever enough. So I would just always stick with 30 minutes. An hour, definitely inappropriate. Does not take that long to view a house, and you're blocking out time from other people to be able to see it at that point. So would definitely recommend just um, sticking to this 30-minute block here. It allows you time to be a little late. If they don't like the property and they want to go to the next one, gives you time to drive to the next one. So, and then just simply click next, and then here's where you finalize it. So, um, now what you'll get is either an immediate text or email saying, "We have received your request. We'll be back with you shortly." Or depending on how they set it up on their end, you might get an immediate approved response. So that's how fast it could be. So if you're going in here and spending 30 minutes setting appointments and you're using online showings for all of them, you could very easily set an entire day's worth of tours in like 20 minutes. So a lot of people think that it takes so much time and there's search, you got to schedule. If you're just going in here, schedule, elim eliminating the search down to nine and choosing the four cheapest homes for tomorrow. Four tours is a lot. That's 2 hours. A lot of people get really burnt out after a couple hours of touring homes. No one is really ever going to want to tour homes for an entire day. Um, uh, that being said, it does happen. So, but going in here and scheduling four tours for a Saturday afternoon does not take more than 10 minutes. And again, just go over here, click send. I'm not going to click send because I don't want to actually book this, but you kind of see it from there. So now there you will go to the home and there will be a lockbox 99% of the time. If there's not a lockbox, don't freak out. First of all, usually good to get there 5 minutes ahead of your client because they're never in the same spot. You'd think they'd be on the front door, but for security reasons, a lot of people don't put them on the front door because they don't want people to know, there is a way to get into this house. So a lot of times they'll be put on the side of the house. They might be behind some shrubs. You might have to track through the yard. It can be very awkward doing this in front of clients, but unfortunately, it is a part of the job. Um, the Probably the most difficult thing to find is where the lockbox is. They're usually going to be on the water spout on the side, attached to you know some sort of pipe somewhere, um, hung from the electrical lock box on the side of the house. Um, I've seen them on the inside of security doors. So if you go, look around the whole side of the house and you're like, crap, I can't find it anywhere, go try to actually go up to the front door, open up the security door to get to the front door, and you might see it on the inside of the security door so that it's hidden from plain view, but still right by the door. Some people will sit them down on the ground right next to the front door. Um, Sometimes that happens where the seller doesn't want people to just have random access. They want to be able to put it out there for you. So once you schedule an appointment, they'll put the lockbox out on the ground and they'll leave. Lots of different things happen. So definitely get there early. They're usually going to be on the side of the house somewhere. Find them, make sure your phone's charged. I can't tell you how many times my phone's been almost out of battery. And oh no, no, I'm not going to be able to access any houses. So definitely make sure your phone's charged because that is your key. So that being said, touring the actual home. Let's just use this as an example. I tend to spend the first 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes just kind of building their relationship, making small talk, make a couple comments about the house here and there. It is not our job to be the architectural design specialist of every single person's home available on the MLS. So don't feel like you have to explain the person's design choices, explain the materials, explain it's every house is personalized to someone else. And if the buyers have opinions about it, nod your head and smile. That's the best thing you can do. Let them work through those details. If they say something along the lines of, "Oh, I really don't like the furniture," you know, definitely remind them, "Well, it wouldn't be this furniture here. This is their furniture. It'll be gone. You can furnish this house however you please." Um, you'd be surprised how many times people make comments about the furniture of the house, which does not even stay. So, but you do not need to feel like you have to have some degree in architecture or design or staging um, to give this, presentation of the home. Just let them look at the home, let them have their feelings, let them have their opinions, take notes of their feelings and their opinions, because what you'll learn, hopefully, is some more of their wants to add to the list. That way, if they're like, "Oh, I love this white kitchen," boom. Okay, now we're looking for white kitchens. Or I hate this white kitchen. Boom. Now take white kitchens off the list. Oh, I hate stairs. Okay, boom. Didn't know that at first, but um, now we're taking two-story homes off the list. So just kind of nod, smile, take notes of what they're saying, and usually you're gonna have to spend a couple weeks and weekends kind of going through these tours to really understand that perfect home for them, and that's just part of the process. So that being said, you're not Vanna White, you're not Ryan Seacrest. You're not somebody who's got to sit here and be the center of the show and narrating this whole event. Um, you're just letting them walk through it. Some people don't even walk through the homes with the clients, they just let them go through it. I like to walk through it with them at least at arm's length so I can hear their opinions and comments and things like that. But maybe I'm hanging back 10 feet, something like that, to kind of give them their space, let them feel comfortable to say what they want to say. And then if they approach me with a question or a comment, boom, I'm right back up next to them. I'm talking to them, I'm talking it through them, that kind of thing. So they might have questions about construction, updates, things like that. Don't feel like you need to have any answers for that. If they say, "How much does it cost to renovate a bathroom?" Say, "Actually, I don't know, but I could find that out for you." And that can kind of be your template response to that. So from there, let them tour the home. Make sure on your way back that you absolutely put the key back in. This is super important. Um, there are unfortunately people who don't do this and they lose keys, and it's a really big deal. And people can get fined to it if it starts becoming a problem. If you make a mistake one time and leave the door unlocked and leave the key inside or something, you know, call the listing agent, apologize, or go back, make sure you fix the situation. But definitely make sure this key gets put back in. When you start popping half a dozen locks a day, it becomes very easy to forget sometimes. Just always make sure that thing's locked, double, triple check, and that's it. That is really all you need to know for touring. Um, what I usually do, let's say we go on this 4 home tour of these 4 homes. Um, I'll go home and kind of take those notes of what they said. And again, let's say they were like, "Oh, really love those houses. They had a little bit more square feet. The ones below 2,000 square feet were a little too small." Okay, so let's go like 2250, something like that. Okay, so boom, now we're down to actually 4 other houses. Okay, then from here, what I would do, these are a little more expensive ones than the other top 4. So we got 3 new ones. So right here, here's maybe our tour for next week. Okay. Hey, here, guys. So I went in, checked the square footage. Here's the 3 that still kind of fit in our budget. I know these are over 600 and you said your budget was 600, but I do feel like if we offered these guys 599, they would really have to consider it. Um, so that we kind of justify that. And then what I do, if this is a consistent client, I want to know anything and everything about my search now. I've created a very solid search for these people and I want to save it. Okay. I'm going to save everything. Well, let's just go save search. And I want to go save and add subscription. So first I'm going to say, let's go sister home search, uh, Wind Creek West. And then down here, I can describe it. I can say 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 2250 square feet plus. Under 600K. That way, I can kind of do that. I would add a new contact. Boom, add their contact information in, name, whatever, add it. And then you're going to put that in here. Um, I'm just going to use myself here for the time being. And then we're going to save and add subscription. What the subscription means is we're subscribing for future notifications for anything else that falls into this category. So it's not letting me do that. I'm just going to click existing. Well, let's pretend. Square feet and under. So I'm going to use existing, but for you, put new. I'm going to use myself. So now I'm going to save, and again, I put add subscription. So forget that little part right there. Click save. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're just going to go test. So we're going to go name, sister home, Q search. So we're going to go 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 2250 plus under one. So I'm going to leave contact none. No, I'm not. I'm going to go new. So I'm going to go test, save and add subscription, test. You can create a portal for this account. What this does is it gives them the ability to use your MLS to search whenever they want. This can kind of be overcomplicated. Um, I like to manage this part of the process myself because if I really am paying attention, it's going to look like the information is coming from me as opposed to just automatically being sent to them. So let's just click no for now, but you can create a portal for that if you want. So save as subscription, invalid email. We're just going to leave email blank because that's not working enough. Well, then why does it say optional? Okay, I'll just use my personal Gmail. You know what? That's probably gonna. Okay, pretend all that didn't happen. So now we have a subscription for Sister Home Search QC West. It's being sent to the contact, but there's a way that we can do this that makes it look like we are superheroes. So you'll see the schedule here says weekly, monthly, or ASAP. We do not want to be sending this to them monthly. Okay. You can imagine a listing being 30 days old. It could already be under contract or under contract and sold. So weekly, maybe a little more appropriate. Um, Personally, I think we've narrowed the search down so specifically that we'll want to know immediately if anything else pops up here. I don't want them to have 25 emails, but if there's only four things in their search criteria right now in this whole area, um, because of size, all that stuff, every single thing we've added into our criteria here, I want to know immediately. I want to know immediately and say, hey, this just popped up today. Let's go see it this weekend, or let's go see it tonight. So that's how I like to show my clients that I'm working hard for them. Um, and there's a couple different ways to do this. So yes, we create an email body, and we'll just say um, West Queen Creek search, 4 bed, 2.5 bath, 22, 50 square feet plus under 600K. So usually do this because they're going to see this in their subject when they get this email. And that's the first thing they're going to see. And they're going to know, boom, hey, they listened to me. They're sending me exactly what I want. They're not sending me anything else. Okay. So then I usually what I do is I'll go, if you are seeing this email, that means something within our narrow search requirements has been listed on the MLS a few seconds ago. You are likely the first to be seeing this listing. If you have any interest in touring, please let me know. So again, it's kind of a side-handed brag here. Okay, you're likely the first to be seeing this listing, but they really are. I mean, if the email pops in, they click on it right when it pops in. They're literally probably the first person seeing that listing. Um, a lot of people set up searches like this. So, there'll be some other people that are getting similar search results and stuff like that too, if they have the same search criteria. But you know, certainly that would be the first or one of the first. So, A, we're kind of letting them know, hey, working hard for you. B, call to action. Okay. We always want to have a call to action for the next step of the process. So when we search for a home, hey, here's some homes. You want to tour them? Call to action. When you tour the home, hey, you saw the home. Any interest in making an offer? Call to action. We always want to be offering the next step. If you are not offering the next step, they literally may not know what the next step is. People sometimes will buy a home once or twice in their entire life, if at all. So they do not know how this stuff works. Just because it's obvious to you, it is not to them. So we always want to call to action the next step. Hey, I found all these homes for you. Oh, so and so sent all these homes over for us. If they don't know you're the one to tour them, they might not understand. Some people go tour themselves. They'll look for open houses and be like, "Oh, we'll go check it out the open house this weekend. Cool, thanks." No, we do not want that to happen. We want them to know we're calling to action the next step. Hey, if you have any interest in touring, please let me know. I will make my calendar available. Okay. So even more specific, I will be the one touring you. Okay. Not someone else. So That way, we've done the work for them. We're offering to help them. Now they get it, right? Oh, he offered a tour, so that's what's next. Okay. When you tour them, oh, he offered to write up the contract for us. That's what's next. They really might not understand. Um, so going back up above here, the way to finish this that I like to do, I don't like seeing subscription on my subscriptions. I just like seeing what they actually are. So I usually delete that off. Um, Send notification of new listings to, so there's a couple different things here. So yes, I want to know, okay? I want to get an email when something is a home run for my client. I want to know. Yes, I want it to come to them, especially if it's only going to be one here or there and not 25 a day. So you definitely want to make sure you've narrowed your search down to something like this and not 63. Okay. We do not want to be sending them 63 listings a day. They will hate us. So make sure you have a narrow search criteria that really matches what they want. You know, this exact comment right here is perfect. And then we want an email sent to us again when they click a link, because that means they liked it. Okay. They do not know that we get sent this link. So I usually pretend like I do not know. Okay. I don't necessarily want them to know, hey, I'm stalking you. I want them to feel like we're on the same page though. So maybe 20, 30 minutes after this, I'll also send them the link to this property. Okay. I'm going to get the same link in my email. Okay. But maybe I'll copy the link from my phone and I'll text it to them and I'll say, hey, not sure if you guys saw this link that popped up today, but this looks perfect. Do you guys want to go see it? Okay. Now they're like, oh my gosh, he's really paying attention. We were just texting about this home that we love, and now he just, reached out and responded and offered a tour. That is how you build rapport. That is how you show people you're paying attention to them. That is how you win business over other realtors if there are other realtors involved. It is a very, very good way to utilize technology to support you. That way, you're not just sitting at your computer searching every day. You're out and about with other clients and you get that link and boom. Okay, looks like a new home popped up. I'll check that out later. Oh, boom. Oh my gosh, they opened it. Let me open it real quick. They might be touring a home with someone else. Okay, but I'm standing back 10 feet, letting them do their thing. I can check real quick. Oh my gosh, they clicked on it. They like it. Let me copy the link and text it to them and offer to boom, 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 text, 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 5 seconds while I'm touring another home. Okay, I can very easily do that. So this is after your first tour and after you hear those extra details that we need to look at, narrow your search down. Definitely use this save and subscription tool. Refer back to this video on how to do all this. But this is how to get started. Um, there is another step that is new to the industry that has to do with buyer agency agreements. I would not worry about that until after you've done your first tour and set this up. A lot of people are getting too concerned right now on how they're going to get paid instead of providing a service. Every single realtor in the industry should be willing to tour somebody one day for a couple properties without thinking about getting paid yet. This is how you build rapport. This is how you build clients. We can worry about the other stuff once they become more formally our clients. And I'll send another video out discussing that part. But every single realtor should be willing to give somebody one tour, one afternoon on a Saturday, even if it's 4 tours. That is the most important time where you can build rapport with the client. I can promise you, none of these listings are going to have 0% commissions on them. If they do, there's another way to figure it out. You will get paid, you will make money. And at the end of the day, we need to think about servicing people before we think about how we're getting paid. Okay. So next video, I will do a whole breakdown of the new contracts, but I can promise you they are not as industry changing as anyone has um has tried to make it them out to be. They are just simply one more, maybe two more documents per transaction um, to help you get paid. And and either way, all of that shouldn't be discussed really until offers are made, when contracts start going out. Making people feel like they have to sign contracts just to go see a home is a disgusting taint on this industry, and it will go away. But I will tell you, go go do this first. Go do the main tour first to learn about them, learn about the properties, get enough information to set this subscription up. Set this subscription up first, and then the next step after doing this would be the next paperwork. Okay, so that is it for how to start searching for and touring a buyer.